My guest this evening, Tyheim Smith, 26 years of age, a musician, songwriter, producer, arranger, composer, business owner. Plus, he's a deacon at his church. Let's see what he has to say. Okay, good evening and good evening. Welcome to Stewart Spotlight Podcast. My name is William Stewart Jr. and I am your host this evening. I know you may be wondering, why am I coming on Thursday, in which I am scheduled to be on Friday? Due to the fact my guest had an engagement for tomorrow, so we had to live stream it today and just post it. And here we are, live. I hope everyone had a wonderful week so far before tomorrow's the weekend. Today is December the 12th. And we had a nice Thanksgiving, and now Christmas is right around the corner, getting ready for the new year. And I'm hoping everybody's enjoying their holiday parties at work or at home or at their families or friends' house. And I know Christmas shopping is right around the corners, or they may have already purchased gifts for individuals or your loved ones. And as I stated before, New Year's. I'm going to make a New Year's resolution on my last show for the coming year. I'm just going to jump right into it because my guest, we have a lot to talk about with my guest. But before we go into my guest, I'm going to go into a commercial break first. But I want everyone to make sure you press that like, subscribe, share, and make sure you turn on that notification bell. So therefore, every time we are live, you will get that notification to let you know Stewart Spotlight is live. So with that being said, let's take a small break, and we're going to come back with my guest, Tyheim Smith. We'll be right back. Hello, my name is William Stewart Jr., President and CEO of Stewart Spotlight. The purpose of this podcast is to showcase individuals like yourself. We all have something to share about our lives. Therefore, I challenge you today. If you went through something, coming out of something, and just want to share your testimony, we would love to hear your story. So please give us a call at 888-552-1944, and one of our producers can make arrangements so you can appear on this podcast. Or visit our website, stewartspotlight.com. Because of your experience, it can reach someone who is watching this podcast and make a difference in their lives. And you're absolutely right. Make sure you give us a call at the 888-552-1944 if you're interested in coming on Stewart Spotlight to talk about your experience, your life experience. We would love to hear that and maybe share with other viewers, and who knows, they may be going through the same thing you're going through, and you may encourage them or enlighten them with your experience. With that being said, I want to introduce my guest. My guest is a musician, a songwriter, producer, arranger, composer, and he has his own business. Beside that, he's my godson. Without further ado, let's welcome Tyheim Smith to the show. How you doing, Tyheim?
Well, all right. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I want to thank you for coming on, and you have been helpful with me getting things done and getting things organized under Stewart
Mhm.
Spotlight. I really appreciate your time and your effort and your knowledge and experience that you have had.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Oh, that's no problem. So, how's the family?
Family's doing good. Family's doing good. Can't complain.
Uh-huh. I'm sure that
A
your
lot going
family.
on.
I'm sure your family is watching. I know.
Yeah, I think, I think my brother is on right now. I got my cousins and family on right now. I believe. Think they're on
Okay.
right now.
Where's mom? Because she's a singer as well.
Yes, she is. Yeah, she got that Bell gene.
Oh gosh, don't say that part.
But yeah,
Don't flatter her too much.
she's around. I think she has something to do at work, but I'm sure people are calling probably.
Oh,
So
okay,
she's gonna be.
okay, that's good. So Taheen, you are an amazing young man with all this talent. 26 years of age, and you just going and going. So just let's start off. What really motivated you to get into music and composing and everything?
Well, as I said before, it runs in the family. We kind of battle on which side has it. Is it the Smith side or the Bell side? But but it started just with family. My grandfather, my mom's father was a DJ.
Hmm.
So music has always been around in our household
Hmm.
growing up and grew up in church.
Okay.
My mom sang. My brother played the drums. My oldest brother, he dabbled a little bit in singing. He wasn't all that, but he was decent. He was decent. He was
He went
decent.
all that. Okay.
He wasn't all that, but he was decent. And,
Okay.
and my uncle plays, and my uncle taught me.
Uh-huh.
Ed, he taught me, and he taught his son. Then we all got it. So, you know,
Okay.
uh, Curtis Kelly, who was also one of our deacons at our church, he played. He taught my uncle.
Hmm.
And so it was all just passing it down, passing it down. So
So you basically was musically inclined from
yeah,
generations of your
from the
family.
beginning, yeah,
Okay.
it
So
was.
how many siblings do you have?
I have two.
Hmm.
One, my oldest brother, and then Tyrell, my second oldest.
Okay. So and your mom and your dad
My mom and my dad, yeah.
and
Mhm.
your father. I know he's listening. He's a jokester because he loves
Yeah,
to.
he is. He is. He tries to be.
Because every time we talk, he got something smart to
He
say.
got some. He gonna have something to say.
Right, right.
He got
So,
to be the life of the party. He got to give him a little cracker.
so Taheen, so when you were growing up, did you play you play any other instruments? Uh,
Yeah, actually, drums was my first actually. I was
okay.
like 5 years old. Drums was actually my first instrument that I played.
Hmm.
A lot of keyboard players, not all of them, but a good some of them, like the drums are their first instrument to play.
Hmm.
And so, you in church and you see, your older cousins, all of us in our church and our family, we don't got friends. We got cousins, we got aunties, everybody auntie, everybody uncle, everybody cousin. So you
Hmm.
seen everybody play drums and you want to play and they'll kick you off, you want to get on. So that was all of us. We had a bunch of musicians at our church. And so just sitting around watching everybody, watching all of my uncles and my family play and just getting that desire to play. So it started off with drums
Hmm.
and then I was 5 and then it started off and then it started getting into the piano
Okay.
when I got older, like 6 or 7 years old.
So now you always been a member of Greater Sweet Home Missionary Baptist Church, correct?
Yes, that's my home
It's
church.
your home church because for the viewers who's watching, I knew Taheen when he was a baby, a baby, and he
Yeah.
has grown to be a young man with a great deal of talent and knowledge, and I applaud you for that because, as I stated before, I'm not going to speed up a little bit. You just recently got promoted in your job, correct?
Yeah, so not only am I in music and as a musician, but I'm in the field of IT. So production and music go together. So IT came in at the perfect time. I've been doing IT for 7 years.
Okay.
Started as a work study, worked myself, worked myself up, and me wanting to know everything, me wanting to know how technology works, how networking works, and I have the drive to learn more and to know everything and build up part-time positions and get to 3 or 4 positions here and there, and then I got full-time 3 years ago. So overall, between 2017 and now, I got actually promoted 4 times. So God has been good.
All the
So
time.
yeah.
So let's talk about your music.
Mhm.
You say you've been playing drums since you were 5 years of age, and you've always been in your church. So what some of the name some of your people that inspired you to become who you are today?
It's a whole bunch of them, but people who know me, they already know who it is. So I'm gonna save it for last. But people who know me know. But growing up, Michael Jackson. Um, I'm an old school head, so me being my age, I didn't grow up around, you know, music. So I came up not in like a strict family, but yeah, strict family. But I grew up where I wasn't able to listen to anything. I wasn't able to watch anything, no radar movie, no stuff like that. So I was around a bunch of old people. I didn't, I'm the youngest. So by the time when I came along, my brothers is old. They hanging out and working and doing whatever they doing. So I'm by myself. So
Okay.
I'm with my mom. I'm with my grandmother, and so all I'm hearing is blues, and so I'm hearing gospel music, and that's how I got into quartet. Quartet
Okay.
is one of my first loves of music. So my musical influences, the Williams brothers, the Kenton spirituals, from a gospel standpoint. Grew up from people who know me, Pampers. I had the spoon in my hand. I had all of it in my hand, trying to be a quartet singer, trying to be a preacher, trying to do all of that type of stuff, and just growing up with music and hearing Johnny Taylor and hearing a whole bunch of all different types of music. So, like I said, my grandfather was a DJ. My grandfather's son, my uncle, he's a DJ. He tries to be, but he's a DJ. He's pretty good.
I see you throwing
But just
little jabs out there about trying to be.
yeah, all types of music was in my household. So
Okay.
Roger Troutman is another major influence of mine in the group, Zapp and Roger. Another major influence, Earth, Wind and Fire. Wonderful group. That band like really matured me to be a musician. Learning their music and learning their material actually made me
Who you are.
it made me learn quick and fast to when I started going out and performing and these songs, and forced
So
me to um study music and to grow because I was struggling starting out in music. So
and that's what I was just about to allude to, because now you were self-taught about writing music, or who taught you how to read music and compose and things of that nature?
So my uncle taught me first. So just playing in church, and you learn your keys and you learn stuff, you learn how to play songs. And after you sit around with it long enough, I had an ear for music. I have so certain things you find, and you notice that you have, gifts for certain things. I didn't know what it was, but I just knew that I can keep rhythm.
Okay.
Hey, I can note. So it's just like you keep going and you're going around and you hear it enough and you start to do it yourself. So
So you was
me
playing. So you was playing by
playing
hearing.
by ear.
By hearing. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So now
And my uncle was just,
did you ever learn the music notes and things of that nature?
I didn't get into that until grammar school, but really the essence of reading music, I didn't get into high school. And
Okay.
so that was my music teacher, who is Doug Corella. He's a very cool dude. And he really got me into starting reading music. So I didn't know how to read. I'll be honest, I didn't know how to play on all my keys. I was A flat demon. I was crazy about just that one key. That's
Okay.
all I could play. I could do C sharp, but I couldn't play on all my keys growing up.
Okay. Now,
And so
so when did you start writing songs?
I started writing songs. Ooh, I'd say 12, about 12
Really?
years old. Yeah, here and
Okay.
there, as you know, younger. As I was younger, I was coming up with little tunes, little here and there, but seriously, like trying to actually write songs, I didn't start writing. It's like 12 years old.
So now, when you wrote songs, did you give it to some artists to sing for you, or what did you do with them?
No, it was actually for myself.
Oh, okay.
I was in my wanting to be an artist, gospel artist phase at that time.
Gospel artist.
I was going to be a gospel artist. I had the equipment. My old pastor at Greater Sweet Home, Pastor Moore, his son is a producer, and so he got me started in production. Actually,
Okay.
um, told me what to buy and what software you need to use, what keyboards you need to get, and I'm not learning. I didn't know MIDI, and I didn't understand all these terms and USB, so I couldn't use the instrument. So what I did was, I had a Casio keyboard, and I didn't get like MIDI. And people who know what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about, what instruments using the software to get sounds. I didn't know how to do it, so I used to take a mic and put the mic on the keyboard speaker, and I would use the mic to record the Casio because I couldn't use the USB. I didn't know sound, I didn't know instruments, I didn't know none of that. So I used to put the mic on the speaker, and I used to record all of my keyboard parts. I used to do the whole thing track by track, and then sing and lay down the background vocals. And I was doing that at 12 years old.
So
And my mom,
this is more of a self-taught.
yeah, just me going through the motions, just figuring it out myself. I didn't, like I said, I'm 12, so I didn't, I had the internet, but I didn't have it like that, like we got it now. So I'm just trying it and try by error and just going through the motions, just figuring it out.
Okay, so now let's move forward from the 12. What did you do after 12 to go into your really teenage years?
Yeah. So I went to Roe Clark, which is a Noble school,
Hmm.
and that's where I believe at that moment my maturity in music started to change, and I started to take a different shift.
Hmm.
Like I said, Mr. Corella, Doug Corella, he was amazing and taught me, got me really started my foundations in reading music.
Hmm.
Um, Stuff that had me handicapped and that I was used to in church. When I got into music class, that stuff went out the window because it's right there in front of me.
Mm.
So even though I was talented, even though I can play by ear, he didn't take that.
Mm.
It's what's on the paper. And
Mm.
so I could be not flash. I was never really flashy, but I could just play and excuse me, I can play and do whatever I want. But if it went on that paper, he was gonna have a problem.
Mm.
So that got into me actually getting into other genres of music a lot more. I always listen to different type of music,
Hmm.
but this started getting me into pop a little bit more. As far as getting me into other types of genre of music.
So,
Um,
but you also wrote for some people as well, songs,
yeah,
I should say, composed songs for some others.
yeah, yeah, I actually did. And that's how I got it through there, through after high school, which leads into that. I ended up joining another music school,
Hmm.
and that music school was Chicago West Community Music Center, which is in the West Side, Garfield Park area. And I joined there 2014, and taking what I learned from high school and joining Chicago West Community Music Center, that it took it up from there.
Hmm.
Um, Learned a lot. Um, Mr. Sanford, Howard Sanford, Miss Sanford, Darlene Sanford, they're the co-founders and executive directors of the school. And Mr. Crosby, Wilbert Crosby, Uncle Crosby,
See, Uncle
he's a jewel in this city. World-renowned guitar player. He's played with some of the greats in music, Aretha Franklin and the Staple Singers, Mavis Staples. He done played with them all, and he taught me a lot. Why the way that I am now, and music people who know me and why I am the way I am, he plays a big role. Still to this day, still plays a huge role.
Okay.
Mentor in my life, and he taught me a lot
So
to
now,
be a guitar player.
yeah.
You know.
So now you wrote some songs for Tim White, correct? Or you
Yes,
played?
I did. Yeah. So
Okay.
20, I think what was that? Oh Lord. 20 2020. I actually joined the group in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Um I was in the uh I was in a difficult place in my life around that time. So I didn't want to do music, I didn't want to do producing, I didn't want to do nothing. And so this opportunity, God put this path for me to join this group, and I didn't want to join it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to do nothing full time, and I joined the group, and um, and so they were working on a record, and I wasn't doing music, and I was down on myself and kind of not really. I'm gonna say like doubt myself, but I didn't really have faith in myself that I could write anymore or play anymore. And so I had the passion to write, but I didn't have like the confidence.
So what
And
what
I
what
think
what what really blocked it that you just
so.
losing it?
So wait. You say
So,
wait. You,
so
you said
what
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 happened?
what blocked it? Because you said you had the passion, but you just didn't want to do anything. So something must have happened at that particular
Yeah,
time that it just stopped.
yeah. So 2017, um, well, worst day of my life. December 17th, 2017. Um, got the call that I never thought I'd hear,
Uh-huh.
receive words I never thought I'd hear,
Uh-huh.
that my brother died.
Uh-huh.
Um, and it wasn't like he was sick and nothing like that. He got shot and killed. Wasn't a bad person, wasn't in gangs, wasn't stuff like that. Hardworking man, family man, took care of his kids.
Uh-huh.
And so to get a phone call like that and to hear that, to know that your brother is gone at the age of that was 19 or 18 at the time, that's something that really, it came so quick. It just like you walking down the street and somebody just come and tackle you.
Uh-huh.
And that blew me away.
Right.
And so after that, I was done really
Uh-huh.
mentally. I go to church and I still serve, but my heart wasn't in it,
Uh-huh.
and I was down on God. I was going through a lot, so um, I didn't really have the passion to write. I didn't have the passion to produce. I didn't have a passion to play. People who know me that phase, and I'm still to this day, I'm still getting out of it.
Uh-huh.
It's better now, but at that time, I wasn't going out playing anywhere. People ask me, "Can you play here?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. I won't go out on albums. I wasn't doing nothing."
Uh-huh.
And so when that happened, when I ended up joining that group, um, you know, the people who I was with, um, I looked up to. And so I said, this is something that's going to help me get out of this hole that I'm in.
Uh-huh.
So when they were working on the record, I was like, I know this is something I want to do, but I didn't have the confidence in myself. I'm down to myself. You can't write. You're not a writer. You're not this. You're not that. All these doubts in my head and all that. And so I just prayed to God and I said, God, just give me a song that I could write that I can help touch people and tell my story. And at that time we didn't know what happened to him. And that year, those 2 or 3 years, we didn't know what happened, and we were going a long time, we didn't know anything. And then
Uh-huh.
God throws a miracle. God shows up and he does this amazing thing that opens up the case really. And so when I wrote the song, he gave me the song and he gave me the words to it, and it is worth it in the end. So me going through the initial um, of me losing him, and then going that year, 2 years of not knowing anything, and dealing with other things that I felt shouldn't have happened, as far as dealing with fallout with family members and other stuff like that, and how God turned it around. He turned that situation around, really. Seriously, he did. And so God gave me the words, it's worth it in the end. And so that was the
So,
first song I wrote in a long, long time at that point, because I wasn't writing. I had stopped writing.
so Tyheim, bear with me for a moment. We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back to continue about Tyheim's life. We'll be right back. And we're back with Stewart Spotlight. And my name is William Stewart Jr. And I'm here with my guest, Tyheim Smith. So Tyheim, before we took a break, we were just talking about how you bounced back after you finding out about your brother's situation, and you started getting back into the songs, and you started writing. Now you have worked with some other interesting people. You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
So after that, me writing those two songs for them, I've been blessed to be involved with and play for some great people and have some great opportunities. Um, got the opportunity to perform with the great Ray Chu. Everybody knows Ray Chu and the crew, musical director of American Idol, Dancing with the Stars. Um, um, he's done the BET Awards, he's done the Grammys, he's done it all. He's one of the top musical directors still to this day. Got an opportunity through Chicago West Community Center. He came out and I was able to meet him, actually able to get a scholarship with him as well. At the time when I was in high school, got the opportunity to perform with him. Chicago blues legend Seal Johnson, if you know his daughter, Selena Johnson, she sung on that song with Kanye West. That song.
Okay.
So he's a blues legend. Jay-Z and Kanye West have sampled his music. A bunch of hip hop legends have sampled him, and I got that opportunity through River Crosby. It's one of the great. Still to this day, that was a great session. Got the opportunity to play with Reverend Hodges, the actual person who played organ on the Al Green classic Love and Happiness. So just to be in that room with Seal Johnson and Charles Hodges, the organ player of a gritty, funky tune that's been around for a long time, and be able to have that sit down session with them and just learn, just being around them. And I was nervous, but that was a great time and a great session. And it was some funky stuff. I wish y'all can hear it, but it was some great stuff.
So now you also open up your own business. How did you get started in the business arena?
So I've always been business savvy in my mind. Always. It started with the Williams brothers, really. Seeing them not only perform. I'm a credit head. I love reading credits. I love seeing who wrote this, who produced this, who published this, who's the executive producer, every title, everything, copyrights, labels, anything. I'm a credit freak. I'm a credit head. I love it. And so watching them and growing up with them, I've always seen that they wasn't just singing. They wasn't just performing. They were writing their own material. They owned their own songs. They had their own publishing company. They had their own label. They were producing their own music, executive producing, all of it. Their names were everywhere. Mixing, mastering, their name was on it. And so their label, Black Baby Records, that's a stable label, gospel label, who signed a bunch of countless gospel legends and gospel music and quartet. So watching them growing up, that got me into like, hey, I want to start my own publishing company. I want to start my own label. And so just me researching and just going online, what's a publishing company? What's a label? What's this? And I'm always seeing the name, and then there's a comma, and then there's an INC with a period, or there's a comma, there's an LLC with a period. I'm like, what is that? Look it up, corporation and limited liability companies. And so at that age, which is I'm 10, 9 years old, studying this stuff and wondering, how to do it. And lo and behold, this guy.
What could I say? What could I say? What could I say?
So here I am. I'm coming up with these names. I got like thousands of names. I got names just writing just in my head. I'm just writing out company names. I'm business. It's like such and such productions, such and such records, such and such public. I got names. I just name. And so came to my godfather. I was like, how do you do this? And so the first thing he said, well, just write a letter and say, hey, my name is Tyheim, and I'm establishing such and such productions on this date. Put it in the mail it to yourself, and come back.
Bam.
And
That's the
I got
cheap.
like I probably got like 7 or 8 of those. I was
That's the cheap, easy way to copyright something.
yeah.
Other than
And so
going legal. Right.
yeah. And so I think my first name, my first name was Fresh Spirit Productions. That was my production company, and then my gospel label. I'm this 2010, so I'm like 12, and I'm just God has given me all of this. And then my gospel label was Fresh Soul Records, and so I just had this. And I had websites and stuff like that, and I was like typing the papers up and mailing them, sending them back, and I'm like, yeah, it's official, I got it. So it's and so then it had to get legal, and it got to get serious. And so he gave me the blueprint on corporations and the LLCs and filing and the right way to do it. And so that's why now, I am the way I am about filing and corporation stuff, which is actually a separate business of mine that I do. I consult people who want to start their own business. If they want to start an LLC, and the EIN numbers and stuff like that is very, very important. So that's actually a separate little business that I have on the side that I help people start who want to start business. So that all came from my godfather there.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the acknowledgement.
Gotta give you
A little clap, right. I appreciate that. Now, you had your own business. You had to open up your own little business. I believe it's on North Avenue and what was this place you opened up?
But before that, I actually officially had started my music production company, Titanium World Music. Started that the company was started in 2010, but it didn't get officially incorporated until 2017. And so made it official, and it's a corporation and everything, and through filing and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then after me working with Refocus, that had its season. And so after that passed, we decided, a group of friends of mine, we had decided to open up a studio, which we're sitting in right now. World Master Studios, which is it's a recording studio in Chicago that I co-founded and co-owned with my friends William Whitehead, William Oates, and Jonathan Miller. So we put our little monies that we had. We ain't millionaires, but we put our our heads together and our brains together, and we got it done, and we built this studio in the Austin area. And so that was now we've been in here for 4 years now.
Okay. So let's talk about let's go into the church arena now. Now you are a deacon. When did you become a deacon at your church?
Yeah. So I've always I've been a deacon since 2019. 2019, I got ordained as a deacon in January 2019, but it started way, 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 way before that. So so Greater Sweet Home is, of course, like we said before, is my home church, which was started by my uncle, Reverend Andrew Kelly. Right now, the pastor is Pastor Emmanuel Thompson, our newly elected pastor, who was installed in November of this year. Grew up in that church all of my life. And so I've always had the willingness to serve and always help out. And so my uncle is a deacon there as well. And so I got trained at an early age. Deacon Curtis Kelly, who was the chairman of our deacon board. That's my uncle, my godfather. Really love him. And him and my uncle Ed, they trained me from 13, I think, is when I started kind of being a junior deacon. And then as I got older, just took the responsibilities and watched them and learned how they served, and learn how they take care of the church and how they serve God's people. And so I took that upon me and been doing it ever since. So, just learning how to handle business, how to take care of the church's business, um, you know, doing stuff like that. They used to send me on little errands. I used to take the coins to the church bank and have to deposit them and stuff like that. Little here and there, they'll just throw me little stuff and, here, do this, here, do that, do that. And so, so now, now I still continue to serve there. And so I love it. That's why I love my church. I love Greater Sweet Home. So,
So now, with all these things, as a musician, a composer, a producer, you own your own business, a deacon, and now you was just promoted in this new position, IT coordinator. How you juggle all this?
A great question. I'm still figuring it out. Just finding time to do, just pacing myself. I can admit I have sometimes can have poor management sometimes, but I handle it well. Just having priorities and what comes first.
Okay.
Still working a job and still having a 9 to 5 and still going to rehearsals, driving out south to go to rehearsals and, coming in and, playing for people or I'm, doing something at the church. If something happens, I got to do something. So it's just go. It's not really not thinking about it, just going, just doing it.
So where's your free time?
Not really. My free time is when I'm off. If I ain't got nothing going on, and if I'm off and I go home, and then I relax. But at that time, I'm on the phone with somebody. We talking about music, or we talking about I'm helping somebody.
Right.
If they need a question about something, it's always something.
Yep, you get that right because I have called you many a nights. Many a nights. Tyheim, what am I doing wrong? What? Help me out with this.
I'll be in the bed and he'll call me. The stream not coming on. And how do you do this? And social media this or
that's right.
I'm talking to friends of mine, or we talking about music, or I'm going over parts, or So I got the love of always trying to help people. I think that's where my blessings come from.
Yes.
Despite all that has happened, in my family, my heart and willingness to serve and help people, even when I don't get it in return. It's been times where people who I looked up to, who I saw, it's like, hey, rather if it's in the music or, well, it's pretty much in music. People that I looked up to, I'm like, hey, I look up to you like a big brother, and what I put into it, I didn't always get it back. People see your talent and see your gift, and they just want to leech on and just
take advantage. Yeah.
Take advantage sometimes, right. And then, they want you in here in this bubble. As long as you in that bubble and you're doing what they want you to do, but as soon as you step out,
that's
you take up for yourself, and stuff like that, then now there's an issue and there's a problem.
Right.
And so, I think that's where my my blessings come from, just me serving, my church and how I am, and just me as a person. I'm been blessed to get these opportunities. This year has been great. Produced my first live record this year. Nate Moon signed, which is a gospel group that I currently play for. The King of the Wild 2 album that came out February of this year.
How's the sales?
It's going good. Nate is doing real good with this. He's doing real good with that album.
Okay.
I produced that with my good brother Daryl Perry. We both produced that record together.
Okay.
And I know just to say this part, you asked who are my musical influences, right. And I said I was gonna save it.
Right.
People who need to know who it is. Mr. Crosby, Uncle Crosby. I was in high school, and I've always known this artist. And coming up, I only knew him when he was attached to a certain artist. But Mr. Crosby put the song on, and I was in high school, and the song was called "Bet You Wouldn't Hurt Me," and the artist was Quincy Jones.
Oh, okay.
Ever since then, Been hooked ever since. Quincy Jones is my ultimate inspiration in every aspect of everything I do, no matter what role, because he was in every role. He was a musician, he was a session musician, he was a writer, arranger, producer, television producer, film. No, he's the greatest of all time in my eyes. So people who know me knows that anything that I do, no matter what role I'm doing, um, he is in my mind the inspiration behind why I do what I do. And so that's my ultimate right there. That's the goal.
Now, I know your mother and your father is one of your biggest fans, or are very supportive of your mission. And as I stated before earlier, that your mom sings as well. She has a very lovely voice, but she's kind of shy at times. For whatever reason, why she's so shy, she should have been out there a long time ago. Because me and your dad used to always talk about that, but that's another story. But anyway, so Tyheim, before we depart, give us some encouraging words that maybe some viewers may be looking at this at your age and maybe been inspired for what you are going through and been through and and achieving your goals. What could you say to them to really motivate them?
One thing I can say is that it's okay to not have it all together and go through life through steps. We make mistakes and we go through a lot of stuff. And there's been a lot going on these last 4 or 5 years, this pandemic and everything like that. So just take everything one day at a time. And no matter where you go, no matter whatever you're doing, whatever you're inspired to do, whatever you want to do it, because nothing is holding you back in doing it. The only person that's holding you back is yourself. And I have to be a witness to that, because there's a lot of things that I doubt myself. It's like, I can never do that. I can never do this. And, the only person that's stopping you is you, and don't let nobody do it. And no matter where you go, make sure God is with you through all of it.
Amen.
Make sure your steps are ordained and just don't go anywhere.
Right.
Plan everything and make sure you pray and ask God for direction in everything you do. You won't go wrong in it. I'm like that now as a musician. I don't go everywhere. I don't play everywhere. That's just me. It has to really be ordained. It has to be God.
Spiritual led.
Yeah, we get in ourselves and we start making moves and we start doing stuff that God ain't told us to do, and then we wonder why stuff fails. And so continue to have a prayer life, and just take one day at a time.
Could you speak on one incident that you have maybe experienced and said, I shouldn't have did it like that, and I'll do it a different way next time?
Listen, that's hard, because I do think before I do a lot of things, but I'm not saying I'm perfect.
Right.
But
that was just a question I just threw out there right quick.
Yeah, you threw it with me. I ain't saying I'm not perfect.
Right.
But I really, and the reason why I'm saying is because I really do, and people who know me, I'm always either I'm a big brother or I'm an uncle to somebody. I don't like to call people that's younger than me little bro or whatever. But people who know me that I talk to, we talk on a regular, I'm always telling them, think 5, 10 years. Like before I do something, I always think down the line. I'm an overthinker. I'm a huge overthinker. So I overthink and think all the way before I move, before I do anything. And so that don't mean I'm not perfect and that I don't have flaws. But it's been times where I made decisions and I've done things and I feel like, hey, do I feel like, was it wrong or was it right? And I always go to the person and say, hey, let me know if I failed at this or did I do something wrong? Let me know. And so if I ever felt like that, and I've done that to where in my mind, if I felt I was wrong or if I did something, I'll call them and ask them, like, hey, let me know if I'm not tweaking, or maybe know I'm not, make sure I'm right.
Right.
And it's been times where we talk, and just people just got to be mature and be grown and have a conversation, and just not calling and doing all this other stuff is just kind of petty. Just talk and have a conversation.
That's easily said, especially coming from a person with your age, because a lot of people in your age bracket don't think like that. They just think as of right now versus being a visionary and thinking ahead and how it's going to impact your life ahead versus thinking right now.
Yeah.
With that being said, Tyheim Smith, I want to thank you for appearing on Stewart Spotlight Live. And I want you to always feel free. You want to come back and share some other experience. You make sure.
I'm watching my phone, so I got a lot of people on here. I'm watching the live right now. I got people on there.
Okay, well,
people on there.
So you make sure you tell your mom, because I know your mom and your dad is looking at this, because as I stated before, I know the whole family. And you make sure you tell hello, say hello to Uncle Ed.
Eddie Bell. Yeah. I will.
You know. But well, anyway, Tyheim, thank you for coming on, and I want to thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. And once again, viewers, we had to videotape today because he was scheduled to be on tomorrow, but due to his schedule, we had to rearrange some things so we can post it today versus tomorrow. But once again,
wait. Hold on. Before you go, I gotta say this. Be ready. Be ready. I'm trying to. I got a lot of stuff going on, so I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get it off. People have been asking for it, and people have been whatever. So people know that I did the concert last year. I did a tribute to Quincy Jones. Everybody know. Y'all know me. Y'all already know. So I ain't gotta say no further. But that was a live performance, and it was audio recording, and that album will be coming soon. Just be patient. People be calling me, asking me when it's coming. Just give me time. It's gonna get ready, but it'll be coming out. I'm gonna try to push for it, so we're gonna get it out. That's all. Thank you, Godfather. That's it.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Tyheim, and we shall talk later.
Yes.
I'll talk to you later. All right. All right. That was my godson, Tyheim Smith. That was very interesting for us to be 26 years of age and have established so much in his 26 years of age. And I'm really proud of him and his parents who raised him, and all the other relatives and his grandmother and so forth who really was there to make sure he's going down the right path. Moving right along, we had a trivia question last week, and I didn't get a correct answer to this trivia question. I was really shocked about this one. I'm going to read it again, but if you still have the answer, you still have time to give us a call at the 888-552-1944. The question was last week, what is the name of the two daughters-in-law of Naomi in the Bible? Once again, what was the name of the two daughters-in-law of Naomi? So take a look at that and give us a call and see if you can answer that question. So in the meantime, it is time for Trivia Question.
Give the correct answer and you can be a winner of this Stewart Spotlight t-shirt, sponsored by William Stewart Jr. It's time for Stewart Trivia. Here's another easy question for you this week. What red-nosed reindeer helped Santa guide his sled on a foggy Christmas Eve? Was it A, B, C, or D? The first correct caller at 888-552-1944 will be the winner of the Stewart Spotlight t-shirt. Good luck.
That is right. If you have the correct answer, give us a call of the 888-552-1944. As I stated before, the first person who has the correct answer will be the winner of the Stewart Spotlight t-shirt, and their name will be acknowledged next week on the next week's show. Well, that concludes our show for this week. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for next week's show. Have another recording artist who was on. I'm just going to say a recording artist. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to mention no names. Today is Thursday. It's not Friday. It's Thursday. So with that being said, I want to wish everybody a healthy and nice, safe weekend this week. And be safe. And always remember, it's not about me. It's all about you. And I was given two pieces of paper to read. It says from Luke 6:28, bless those who curse you and pray for those who hurt you. Keep praying. Don't quit. Never stop believing. Until next week, have a safe weekend and good night.